very close, yeah. But they were, we were wading through.
If you'd have had a choice, wouldn't you have done that?
Do when you hear this story a lot from them,
Well, yes.
you just ignore him, don't you?
When
When
you
you
went
ignore
in,
them all.
When you went in,
They doesn't. It's water off a duck's back.
you couldn't say, want to do this.
Doesn't worry me one
Yeah, but there
time.
again, you see,
do you ever get your own back?
I don't
on?
like him.
but
I'm not too keen about him.
I don't like it.
Him I hate. And this guy, well, I shoot him. Bang.
You're a lovely fella. Lovely issue.
You were all the Southwest. That's it. The main thing is that bad jokes aside, which you didn't mean, it's all from the West, isn't it?
We're all from Bristol, Bristol and Bath.
Side of the country.
Yeah.
So what is it? How is it? Where is everyone living nowadays?
Bath, Weston-super-Mare, Salford, Bristol. Bristol. Now, how we all met, my Ross's friend, we met through the Normandy Veterans Association.
And did you meet in 1940s, or did
I
you
think
meet?
you're
Oh,
wrong
no,
there,
no.
Ken.
Oh.
We met through the
What?
Land and Craft Association. That's where we met. Remember?
That's right, yeah.
So you met
That's
years
right.
later. You didn't meet him.
We've
no,
been
no.
friends for years.
Yeah.
How many years?
Oh, Christ.
One.
6 weeks ago. No, not with him. We met those two.
We met these two.
This fella got a military medal, by the way.
Say it again.
This fella got a military medal.
Which one?
Les.
There's your medal. Which one are they talking about?
The military medal.
The first one is the military medal. Yeah.
Why? What was that for?
It was a place just south of Pensioners Bridge called St Henri-la-Chardonnette. And I was up at Church Tower for 7 hours, and the Cameron Islanders were going through because the Germans were counter-attacking. And our order was not to retreat under any circumstances. And eventually the Camerons went through and pushed the Germans back. But we still didn't conquer Caen for several days after that, probably another 2 or 3 weeks, because we never captured Caen for up to a month, wasn't it? Something like that, I think.
Because the artillery won there.
Yeah. And that was the forward observation.
And then, what are the rivalries around the table then? What do the jobs everyone did? That all this banter that you keep having a go at each other. What's the rivalries?
Not really
There's no
too much,
rivalry.
because they were on Navy. Ken was landed here with the Marines. I was forward observation. Bill was artillery.
Royal Artillery.
I was artillery, but I was the Cameron
Herb was in the
Islanders.
Royal Navy, same. He was on LCIs, Land and Craft Infantry.
And you, what about you, Ken?
LCAs I was on, Land and Craft Assault. Landed the Canadians on Juno Beach, Virginia Rifles, Winnipeg Rifles.
And also you landed men in Holland.
Yes, Walker Island, 52nd Lowland Division, and number 4 Army Commando. Your turn.
Did you
Holland.
steer them? Did you steer the landing craft then?
We took it in turns.
Could they steer? What were they like?
Well, they weren't coal-fired, if that's what you're asking.
The Duke of Gloucester said to him one time when they had an inspection, you're on LCA, were they coal-fired? Didn't
That's
know
the Duke of Gloucester.
The Duke of Gloucester.
Yeah,
I
upon
saw
the
him over
Downs in
Crete.
Bristol.
Yeah,
Now, one of our association, Arthur, survived by clinging on to the engine housing, didn't he?
yeah, that's Arthur.
Yeah. So they were watertight.
I'm afraid not.
The engine compartment was.
What?
The engine compartment was all watertight.
I doubt that, Ken.
Yes. But this one, ours were watertight.
LCMs you was on, wasn't it?
LCAs. No, I wasn't on LCMs. I went in on LCAs.
I thought it was
I trained on LCMs.
That's what I'm thinking.
Only slightly, but I was seriously wounded some few months later when I was sent home, given up for dead really, but I never did. I was injured the chest, the leg and the right hand.
And who saved you, or how were you saved?
Well, what happened was I went back, I was on a field hospital obviously to start with. I went back on the front of a Jeep and went back to a field hospital, and they operated then on me temporarily. And I went back to a place called Celle in Germany, which was a German hospital which would take it over. And the brigadier surgeon came around. He said, "Do you play the piano, son?" I said, "No." He said, "We won't play it anymore because that hand's coming off tomorrow because it was burnt and all in that state." And he came round the next morning. He said, "You're going straight back to Blighty because your chest has gone funny." So I went back to Blighty and I landed at Lynham, went to Chase Farm Hospital in Enford in Middlesex, and they put me right there after a few months.
They saved your hand.
Saved me hand, yeah.
And what is? Can I ask you all?
Dr. Galloway said to me, "I can save that hand, son, but it's going to take a long time."
Can I ask you why you all come back? How important is it this remembrance?
Well, a bit. With these four, they've come. Well, Ken came back with me first of all about 5 years ago.
5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years ago, because he was interested in my part of the action. These three, they normally went over with the Normandy vets. But the Normandy vets,
Has wound down pretty much.
down a bit. And they said, and they were interested in coming over here, so I brought them over. Him, Ernie there, had no interest in anything, not until 2 years ago, when we all persuaded him to come over with us.
What was that like making that move, Ernie?
Oh, I've enjoyed it. Yeah, it's quite. I've seen more this time than I did the other time.
Why did you leave it 60 years or so?
Well, I was in the Italian campaign, so my interest basically was in it's Italian campaign. I never went back there. Ken was the one instigating me to come out. So I lost my wife 4 years ago, and I was just.
Free. Yeah. You had time. And when you come over here, how important is it to you to come over here?
Very.
Oh, I think it's very important.
Yeah, very important. Because we can have a bit of banter with that one there. That fat one there.
The thing that gets to me is when I go up to see those boys' graves, and to know that I'm here and they're at 20, 19, 30 is lying up there. That hurts.
Because Norman Rose was telling me he was 18 when he was disembarked.
Well, I was 18. I was only 18. Ken was only 18. Yeah.
I was only 18 when I joined up.
I was 18, yeah.
Yeah, I put my age on, by the way. I put my age on when I was 19 and a half. Went in 40.
And when we see the stones of the headstones of the boys who were 18 and 19, do you think when you walk among them? What do you think? Because I feel to myself they secured our freedom, but what did they do for you? Did you also help secure my freedom, didn't you?
Yeah, but I don't think at the moment, at the time of any particular situation, you only think what you're doing at that particular moment. You don't think about anything else. Only what you've been taught to do or ordered to do or programmed to do. So, I mean, if you've got to fire the guns or drive the quad or take the boats in or whatever, you just do that thing. I had blinkers on.
What do you think, can I ask you, were they in any doubt that if they did die, people would be coming here 60 and 70 years later?
Oh, no way.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. No way.
Go for it.
He was married.
Isn't he trying a little bit of touch as well?
Old Arthur and I were squeaky clean.
I bet you were right, little devil. Is Mrs. Salt, she was a virgin.
No.